There's a fundamental misunderstanding that haunts men after a relationship ends. You think you want her love back. You spend sleepless nights replaying memories, composing texts you never send, fantasizing about that one grand gesture that will make her see you again, make her feel for you again. You are chasing a ghost, and you are chasing the wrong thing entirely. Love is fickle. It's a chemical cocktail, a storm of emotions, a feeling that can fade as quickly as it arrives. But respect is different. Respect is forged in fire. It's built on the bedrock of character. And it is, I would argue, what your soul truly craves from her now. Not her affection, but her acknowledgement. The acknowledgement that the man she left is no longer the man who stands before her. Today, we are not talking about winning her back. We are talking about something far more profound. We're talking about the 5 fundamental changes a man undergoes that shifts her perception of him from pity or indifference or even lingering affection to something harder, colder, and infinitely more powerful: respect. This is the story of how you stop being the boy she left and become the man she has no choice but to look up to. The 5 Stoic changes that make her respect you, not love you. Stoicism. The first and most foundational change is the shift from an emotional reactor to a logical responder. The man she left was likely a man of high emotional volatility. When things were good, you were euphoric. When they were bad, you were devastated, angry, or anxious. Your emotional state was a boat tossed on the sea of your relationship. She knew your triggers. She knew how to make you happy, how to make you angry, how to make you sad. She had the controls. The average man, after she leaves, continues this pattern. He begs, he rages, he sends walls of emotional text. He is still reacting, proving to her that his emotional stability is, and always was, dependent on her. This behavior doesn't inspire respect. It inspires pity at best and disgust at worst. The man who commands respect has undergone a stoic metamorphosis. He has fortified his inner citadel. He understands, as Marcus Aurelius did, that he has power over his mind, not outside events. When faced with provocation or emotional turmoil, he doesn't react. He responds. He creates a gap between stimulus and response. In that gap, he applies logic and virtue. He asks, is this in my control? Is reacting with anger the act of a virtuous man? He becomes predictable in his calmness, but unpredictable in his emotional vulnerability. She no longer has the controls, because the control panel was never hers to begin with. It was always inside him, and he has finally taken command. She respected your passion, but she will be in awe of the power of your peace. The second transformation is moving from seeking validation to embodying a mission. For the man she left, she was likely the mission. His purpose was to make her happy, to build a life with her. His identity was deeply intertwined with his role as her man. When she left, his mission was aborted, and he was left purposeless, adrift in a sea of his own inadequacy. The common man seeks to fill this void with a new source of validation. Another woman, excessive partying, or posting "look how great my life is" photos on social media. He is screaming into the void. Am I still valuable? This is a desperate search for an external stamp of approval. The man who earns respect finds a new mission. But this time, the mission is internal and greater than any single person. He redirects his focus towards his telos, his ultimate purpose. Building a business, mastering a craft, achieving peak physical condition, dedicating himself to a cause. He becomes obsessed not with her, but with his own potential. He is no longer defined by his relationship status, but by his objectives. His actions are no longer geared towards winning her approval, but towards serving his mission. He has purpose that radiates from him, a sense of direction that is magnetic. When she sees this, she realizes a terrifying truth. She was a chapter in his book, perhaps even an important one. But he is now writing epics, and the story is no longer about her. She could walk away from a boyfriend, but she is forced to respect a king building his kingdom. Third, a man commands respect when he transitions from a vague future to a disciplined present. The old you probably talked a good game. You had dreams, ambitions, things you were gonna do, but your days may have lacked structure. Your discipline may have been inconsistent. You lived in the comfortable fog of potential. The average man remains in this fog. He might talk about his glow-up, but his daily habits don't change. He still hits snooze, eats poorly, and chooses comfort over challenge. His potential remains just that. Potential. A promise without evidence. The man who earns her respect closes the gap between who he says he is and who his actions prove him to be. He understands that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. He wakes up early. He trains his body with brutal consistency. He structures his day like a general planning a campaign. He reads. He works. He eliminates distractions. His life is no longer a collection of vague intentions, but a testament to daily, deliberate action. This physical and mental transformation is the most undeniable proof of change. It's a visual, tangible statement that he now values himself enough to invest in the hardest currency there is, discipline. She's not just seeing a man with a better body or a new job. She is seeing a man governed by an internal code. She fell for your potential, but she will respect your discipline. The fourth crucial change is the evolution from social dependence to social sovereignty. The man she left might have had a world that revolved around her. Their friends were her friends. Their social life was her social life. When she left, his social kingdom crumbled, leaving him isolated or clinging to the remnants of a world that was no longer his. The ordinary man either becomes a recluse or he desperately tries to stay in the old social circle, creating awkwardness and showing his inability to move on. He proves he is socially dependent. The man who becomes respected does the opposite. He becomes a social architect. He understands that his value is not derived from one person, but is built and demonstrated within a community. He consciously builds a new high-value network. He seeks out mentors, joins mastermind groups, and surrounds himself with ambitious, positive people who are on their own missions. He doesn't do this to make her jealous. He does it as an act of self-expansion. His world doesn't shrink after she leaves. It explodes with new connections, new ideas, and new energy. When she hears about this, and she will, the message is devastatingly clear. His social status was never a loan from her. It was a seed that, once freed from its pot, grew into a forest. She may have been the star of your old small world, but she's not even a citizen of your new thriving one. Finally, the fifth and ultimate change. You evolve from justifying your worth to demonstrating it. The old you, when challenged or misunderstood, likely felt the need to explain, to argue, to justify your position. You used words to try and convince her of your value. The average man continues to play this losing game. He might send a long final email explaining his side of the story. He might tell mutual friends his version of events. He is still operating under the false belief that he can talk his way into being respected. The man who earns true respect understands the Stoic doctrine of facta, non verba, deeds, not words. He stops explaining himself entirely. His silence becomes his most powerful statement. He doesn't need to tell her he's changed. His new life is the undeniable evidence. He doesn't need to argue that he's successful. The results of his mission speak for themselves. He doesn't need to proclaim that he's happy. His calm, centered demeanor is the proclamation. He has become a living, breathing demonstration of his own value. His very existence is the argument. There is nothing to debate. When she encounters this new version of you, she will find there is no angle for an argument, no room for pity, no purchase for her old emotional leverage. There is only a new reality to be confronted. The old you talked about who you were. The new you simply is. So, you see the pattern. These 5 changes, from reactor to responder, from validation seeker to mission-driven, from potential to discipline, from dependent to sovereign, from talker to doer, are not about her. They are about you. They are about forging a man who respects himself so profoundly that the respect of others becomes a natural, inevitable consequence. Seneca said, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. To undergo this transformation is more than courage. It is an act of self-creation. It's taking the rubble of a collapsed relationship and using it as the foundation for a skyscraper of character." Her respect, when it comes, will feel different than her love ever did. Love might have felt warm and comforting. Respect will feel clean, sharp, and undeniable. Like the cold, hard glint of steel. It's the silent nod of acknowledgement from across a crowded room. It's the realization in her eyes that she misjudged you, not just as a partner, but as a man. And the final, beautiful irony. By the time you have changed so much that you have truly earned her respect, you will have reached a state where you no longer need it. The change begins now, not for her, but for you, to build a man so solid, so purposeful, so self-possessed, that his very presence commands respect. If you are ready to begin that construction, subscribe to Modern Stoic. In the comments, declare which of these 5 pillars you will build first. Your transformation starts not with a word, but with a decision.